You guys, welcome to Us Weekly. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
We're so excited to talk all things Dancing with the Stars. We're big fans here at Us. I know you have probably already picked up on that. But to just jump right in, we already have 2 cast members announced for the next season.
We do.
Robert and Alex. What were the reactions to both of those names?
All positive. Are you kidding? We're starting off with a bang. Both were probably going to be in the finale. Alex just with her votes alone, and then Robert is just such a sweetheart. So I'm sure they're going to do really well.
Do you guys get just as excited when you see ABC and the socials teasing there's going to be a big announcement and who's it going to be? Are you like also waiting to find out what they're about to say about the cast?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know anything. Like, sometimes people think that we know and we don't. We find out when everybody else finds out. We don't even know if we're on a season, you know? We always find out
haven't even been picked up yet.
a few days before you meet your celeb. That's when you know if you're on a season. And then, it's exciting because the first 2 celebs are already so amazing. So I can only imagine what the season is going to look like.
That's my favorite when people are like in the comments like, oh, this is a hint for their partner. I'm like, I wish. I don't even know who my partner is. But the audio is trending, so.
Right, but let's go with it. It sounds like everyone, you might get 2 partners. Let's put you with Robert and you with Alex and let's just do it, right?
Let's just win this thing then.
So there are a few types of stars that always kind of get cast on every season, like the athlete, the actor, the reality star, musician, and influencer.
The tall guy.
The tall guy. That's your stereotype.
There you go.
Is there a type of person in their profession that you hope to get as a partner? I know they're not all the same, but are you like, oh, I'm looking for a reality star, I'm looking for an athlete?
I'm not looking for anyone, honestly. I'm just like grateful to even be on. But I feel like they haven't had an F1 person in a long time.
Okay.
And for some reason, I don't know why they usually dance well. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Some of the videos I've seen, they dance well. So I can imagine like someone like a Lewis Hamilton. Like that would be insane.
That's a good one.
Right? Because we're like into F1. That'd be really cool.
In general, like I've never had an athlete, and I feel like I think athletes usually do well because, first of all, you know, they're very aware of their bodies. Definitely the discipline is there, you know, and they, I don't know, like, of course, depends what kind of athlete, you know, they will have their own advantages, but you can use them, you know, in at least some dance styles. Like, I'm sure if you have a football player, they usually light on their feet. So dances like quick step, jive are good, you know, so for me, I never had an athlete, so...
Imagine him with someone like Jordan Childs.
Unstoppable.
Like, she needs a redemption for what happened to her. So we need her on, maybe with you. That'd be really fun.
That would be a good one. I know you get a lot of reality stars, which is fun for Us Weekly, but is that fun for you?
You mean me specifically?
Personally.
Oh, yes, I am
Carol
a
Baskin
reality...
is the highlight.
Yeah,
I mean,
honestly, that's an icebreaker and a conversation starter in any part of the world, trust me. Yeah.
That's very fair. Recognizable names are like Ariana on the height of everything. Like, it's all good names. It's just funny because you get the tall athletes or the tall people and you have the reality stars. They kind of do put you guys with similar people.
Yeah.
I was going to say dream partner overall, but I feel like we've got Lewis Hamilton and we got Jordan Childs.
Yeah.
Those would be the names, maybe?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, an unfair advantage would be someone like Justin Timberlake. I've worked with him
Britney
before.
Spears.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that wouldn't be in a good season. That would
have its
maybe not in the
challenges.
same season.
Oh, Justin and Britney. Oh my God, imagine.
Maybe not together.
Wait, opposite.
No.
Just
There's a lot of
imagine-
beef
Battle
there.
of the Exes,
Yeah.
Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, maybe we
The
can be like the
clickbait
marriage
is going to
counselors
be
or something.
through the roof.
That would be incredible. Is there a partner from or a celeb from other seasons of the show, not because you wouldn't have wanted to be with whoever you had that year, but that you kind of wish you had a chance to dance with? Someone that you got to watch and you're like, oh, it would have been interesting to be their partner.
You know, maybe someone like Steven, just because he's my height. And he's an athlete. I feel like I love working with athletes. I loved working with Dwight this season. It was so fun. It was just hard. It's hard for me, you know, like to stretch that high all the time and to try to make choreography work when physically it's impossible. On my brain, it was a lot, and being a mom, it was a lot because I wanted to be like shutting my brain off when I'm at home. But that season was really hard for me, I'm not gonna lie, because it was just a lot of work outside of the studio, making sure that my brain is like fully understanding the circumference of where I have to go and like measure if it even works, because his one step is my 6. So
That's so crazy.
I think someone like Steven, where he's America's sweetheart, he's going off such a high, he's an athlete, he's shorter like me. So, like, fun size, I'll say
Fun size.
Maybe someone like that.
Okay.
You know, like, I would love someone who's just, like, sweet, hardworking, kind of an underdog. I love an underdog because I feel like they're just, like, they come out of nowhere, you know? And, yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. For me, honestly, I think it was before my time on Dancing with the
Okay.
Stars, but somebody who like sticks out in my memory, somebody like Lindsay Sterling, you know, and I think, I mean, she's not a dancer, but she ended up being an amazing dancer. But the fact that she's a musician, I think that's also such an advantage because you're definitely in the pocket, you definitely hear the music well. You probably remember choreography based, you know, on the musicality and the counts, and you can feel the metronome and everything. So I think someone like that would be amazing. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. We were talking before, the show is more popular than ever, so it seems across every generation. What do you guys think that it is all about? What do you credit to kind of, it's probably a few things, but this Dancing with the Stars, like, Mania, 34 seasons in, that's not normal for a show that's been on for so long.
It's the only dance show left. And you know what? Like, they also need to have reality stars. Because reality stars right now, nowadays, they're our celebrities, you know? Like, people on TikTok, I know there's, like, a lot of, like, there are a lot of people who don't understand the celebrity status and like why are these TikTok, because that's what we were watching nowadays. Like for us, those are our celebrities. They're on our screens all the time. Nowadays people are on their phones, you know. So before it was like the A-list actors, right? And musicians. Now it's people like Alex Earl we're all looking up to. We're watching her. She's blogging, we're like, oh, I want to hear what she has to say. Like I see her on the screen all the time. Let me meet her in person. Like that'd be cool. So for us, it's good to have both, you know. I think we should definitely keep having like, what am I saying? Like, I think the movie stars and the people on reality shows, on different reality shows, like what are some, like Survivor and Traders and...
It was always just kind of like
Housewives.
The Bachelor because of like ABC, but now, expanding more Housewives.
We have so many cool shows. Like, I would love to meet someone from Claim to Fame or Traders or... Alone, you know, like the Gina who won Alone, like that's cool to me. I love that. So we're not just watching movies anymore. So I think that Dina is doing such a great job casting the current people, and it's nice to have a mix. It's not like all the celebs are gonna be like influencers and TikTokers, right? So we need to have a few to. I think that's what keeps the show going.
But I also think it's the combination of that new age freshness, you know, the social media hype, Gen Z, TikTok, but at the same time the longevity of the show. Because it's not just a fresh show that is trying to make it, it's a show that's been there for 20 years. We're celebrating 20 years in a couple of days. And you have already several generations that grew up on the show. We're just fresh off tour, and after each performance, you know, we have fans waiting by the buses. So we get a chance to like hear from them, interact with them, and they're telling us like, oh, this was a show that I was watching with my grandma growing up every Tuesday night, or back in the day it was Monday night, and that's how we bonded together. And you see whole families coming to watch the show live, you know, tour, and you see like 3 or 4 generations, the entire family, so you understand that it's now the audience is much larger. You know, we have different age, different generations watching the show, and I think it's the longevity of the show plus the new hype on social media. The combination of that is, I think, what gave a show a rebirth. And we're going into our 34th season, and I am sure it's not the last one.
No. You guys get to see that, I guess, on tour, right? Like you see the all different ages watching you. So, and then people who come up to you, have you noticed? Has it been younger people than it used to be?
Yeah, usually it's like, I would say from like 20s and up. Now it's kids, like young kids who are watching, and it's insane to see all these families coming in because before it was a different demographic for sure.
Yeah.
Now it's like everyone.
Now it's everyone.
great.
It's literally everyone.
Yeah.
I love that though. Do you feel pressure to like keep up that hype? Like, fingers crossed, assuming you're on season 34, is there going to be like a vibe of last year was so successful? I feel like it was like every week, like they were saying there's a votes, like we're breaking records and this or that, and I feel like it was everywhere. Does then it like become this, how do we match that? Or is it just like, let's ride that high? Like, do you feel that at all?
I definitely think this season's going to be the biggest one yet. I know last season was great, and the season before that was great because we had Charlie D'Amelio. I truly, truly think that this season is going to top that. Just simply because you already have two incredible characters for the show. You know, we have one person that you know is going to be in the final because she's just going to have a crazy amount of votes.
Yeah.
After all, dancing is a big part of the show, but voting is the fans are the biggest part, right? So you know these people are going to be so successful in the ballroom. But yeah, I think this season might actually top last season.
Ooh, that's exciting. That's a fun tease. One of the things that I think is so interesting is the guest judges. I feel like sometimes people get like worked up about having a guest judge that maybe isn't like, you know, obviously has a background the same way Carrie Ann and Bruno and Derek do in ballroom. Other times it's kind of fun because then they will just like give people nice higher scores. But sometimes it's like, oh, whoa, Michael Bublé. Like, I don't know. So for you guys, do you like the guest judges? Do you think it adds something fun? Do you as pros get like a little anxious when maybe they throw you a curveball of someone who maybe isn't going to be looking for the same things as the dancers are or the professional ballroom dancer judges are?
I think it depends on which score they give me. They give me a good score.
Perfect.
I'm happy about it. If not, no. No, honestly, usually, like you said, you know, they give a little higher score, you know, and they're more supportive.
They give you grace a little bit.
Yeah. Lately, we've had a couple of judges that were not, you know, as generous, the guest judges.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it depends on who it is. But at the same time, I feel like every guest judge, they bring their own perspective, and like maybe they don't bring the specifically dance knowledge, but they are still from the entertainment industry, most of them, right? Probably all of them.
Yeah.
So they're still
Mark.
looking for something, you know, they're still looking for something very specific to them, you know, that I think you should bring as a performer, right? So if they're actors, maybe they're looking, because during dance, we're still acting, right? We have a theme, we have a whole creative, and acting is part of the dance. So, or maybe if it's a musician like Michael Bublé, you know, I'm sure that if you're in the pocket and you're moving to the rhythm really well, that matters to him. So, yes, it maybe they don't judge your technique or your ballroom technique, but I'm sure they're judging something of value in your performance. So I think it's still good to have somebody, and it brings something, I don't know, some extra pressure, something fresh.
Yeah.
I like it. I really, really think Mark should be in the judging panel just because him and Derek are two ballroom specialists, right? Derek and Mark have competed like against each other too, right? So they've been in the ballroom world since babies, and they know the ins and outs and the technique. I mean, they're very, very much specialists in this show, like in terms of the ballroom, right? I love the fact that Mark came in and he was able to say, okay, not just, okay, your frame was not great. Like, what about it was not great, so that he gave advice on how to fix it for the next week or for the next process, you know? I love when there's feedback and there's something to back it up when it's like, this is not good, but this is why it's not good, you know? So it was really cool to have him as a judge.
Yeah.
But also, I personally love having outside judges. Maybe when they're not talking about like looks or something,
Fair.
you know, when they're talking about like the dancing, because as Pasha said, they're all artists. They're so creative, and sometimes it's nice to hear something like from the outside world of just performing. Like, what can I do better in terms of performance with my partner? Like, even just like smiling. Or Mandy Moore is not a ballroom specialist, but I would love to always hear what she has to say because she's such a icon in the dance industry that I would love to hear her feedback and like what I can improve myself as a choreographer, you know? So it's nice to have different people.
You mentioned Mark and Derek, and I just remember last season when they danced together. That was like
iconic.
the coolest thing ever.
They're probably going to win an Emmy for it.
Yeah, they should. And I mean, anytime Derek, I feel like, Julianne, anytime they come back, I feel like it also like breaks the internet a little bit when they dance again. But that was cool because I'd never seen anything like that before.
It was just amazing to see two men who are such strong leaders in the ballroom dance world come together and create a strong performance. It was such a,
Fair.
you know,
Yeah.
when they're talking about like the dancing, because as Pasha said, they're all artists, they're so creative, and sometimes it's nice to hear something like from the outside world of just performing, like what can I do better in terms of performance with my partner, like even just like smiling. Or Mandy Moore is not a ballroom specialist, but I would love to always hear what she has to say, because she's such a icon in the dance industry that I would love to hear her feedback and like what I can improve myself as a choreographer, you know. So it's nice to have different people.
You mentioned Mark and Derek, and I just remember last season when they danced together. That was like
iconic.
the coolest thing
Yeah.
ever.
They're probably gonna win an Emmy for it.
Yeah, they should. And I
Yeah.
mean, anytime Derek, I feel like, Julianne, anytime they come back, I feel like it also like breaks the internet a little bit when they dance again. But that was cool because I'd never seen anything like that before.
It was just amazing to see two men who are such strong leaders in the ballroom dance world come together and create a strong performance. It was such a statement and like so beautiful to watch and so strong. Like that's the first word that comes to my head, is just like the strength they had together and to create like this power.
Do they call it mango?
Mango.
Mango. Mantango. Mango.
Mango.
Oh, I love that.
The
We need
mango.
another one of those
mango.
next season. Would you do a mango with someone?
Yeah,
Who would you mango with?
with Mark, and we actually.
No, you would mango with
Hold on.
Eminem. Let's
No,
not go
hold on,
there.
hold on. So when Charlie was on a couple of seasons ago, Mark hurt his back during Argentine Tango Week.
Okay, yes.
So just in case I was in the studio, you know, like if in case I need to step in, and when he would choreograph, I would dance with him. He couldn't really move much because of his back, but he was like, we were dancing together. So we basically did that in the studio for the
Okay.
entire
You did
week.
it
And I remember
first.
Charlie, she was just like watching. She's like, guys, should I leave or should I just let you to dance together? So,
that's so
yeah,
cute.
we did a little mango
Okay,
a couple
love
seasons
that.
ago.
More mangoes. What about the themes? Are there themes? Sometimes they do the same ones every week, your Disney week or the memorable year. Are there themes you look forward to choreographing, and are there any themes that they tell you where you're like, oh no, I don't want to do X? Or are themes exciting?
I personally don't like the themes.
You don't like the themes? Okay, why not?
I don't. I like the Disney. I think Disney should be a staple, which it is, because it's just like so fun and it's just one week that we all look forward to getting in character, and Halloween is really fun.
Yeah.
But I feel like me, this is just specific to me.
Yeah.
I'm a trained, like ballroom dance is all I did and all I knew. Now I'm more open to other styles, but ballroom is something that's in my blood, and for me to put a theme on it is so foreign.
Yeah.
Because you can't dance like a proper Argentine tango to a pop song,
Right.
or like a cha-cha to a hip-hop song. Like it just, for us, it's so weird, you know, and doing like a hair metal night. I don't like hair metal music. Like I don't like it, that genre. So, or like Grease, or like for me, it's just, we have so many themes. I love a specific, just like clean Latin night. You know, like
Right. That was what it used to be, right? Just Latin night.
yeah,
Not like,
we actually had a Latin night. We choreographed the opening number, and it was
Okay.
like a bachata. It was very sexy, and I miss that. Like that's what I love and I want. And I got excited for like a Latin theme, because that's where it's like it's coming from, those roots, you know. And you just like want to do a samba and like just shake your bum a little bit. When it has the themes, it kind of like kills me inside a little bit, because I'm just like, oh god, I have to wear a wig again.
right. How many costume changes are going to happen here?
I like the themes, but again, granted, you get the style that works with that theme. Like for example, when we had Motown Week, right? That music is perfect for a dance like Quickstep, and I
Right.
was lucky enough to have Quickstep that week. But if that week you have Paso Doble, it's not great for you, because
Right.
there is not really Motown music that would fit that style.
Yeah.
But again, if you have, you know, like a Taylor Swift night, and you have a Vinnie's Waltz, amazing. You know,
Right.
she has so many ballads, you know, that are like perfect for Vinnie's Waltz. Like if you're lucky with a style that matches that artist, you know, or that theme,
Right.
great. But if you don't, then it's tough to
right.
like put the two worlds together, and you're like, how do I do Paso Doble to Motown?
But it's crazy because Taylor Swift night, like, I'm not gonna say like I only listen to Taylor Swift music, right? Like there are
Right.
some songs that are so popular that I know of, and then like that week I was like, oh my god, I love that song. I didn't know it was Taylor Swift. And like the more songs I listen to, I'm like, holy crap! Like you can dance a sick Argentine tango or
Yeah.
a paso or that. Like she has so many different types of music
Right.
and her.
Yeah, to her
like,
music you can do definitely a
literally do
lot of
everything. I
different
was so
styles. Yeah,
surprised,
but I'm
'cause-
saying like if you have, I had a Roomba, and again it was great. It
beautiful,
was
yeah.
a great like night, great theme for me because Roomba fits beautifully with her music, you know. But again, she has so many good Venus waltzes. Like
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
die to have Taylor Swift Venus waltz, you know, one of
Yeah.
the seasons because she has so many good ones. Yeah, but some themes are definitely harder than the others,
Yeah,
and
I
depends.
imagine.
It really depends on if you get lucky with the style for
I'm
that
like
week.
trying
Yeah.
to be sexy in my hair metal night. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Hair metal night
rock
really
on,
sticks
dude.
out.
I'm like, ah.
I'm trying to think if there are other artists like Taylor Swift that have a catalog where they dabble into so many different genres.
Well,
Bublé, I feel like had a lot.
yeah, because he has good rumbas, good
Okay.
cha-chas, good foxtrots, so like good tango. So I feel like that night we had a lot of those dances that night because his music was so fitting to those. You know.
Right.
We need a bad Bunny night.
Bad Bunny night.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
have a lot of good sambas,
Good sambas.
a lot of good sambas, a lot of good salsas.
That would be fun. Okay, Bad Bunny night.